So I'm going to take you to page 5 of the greenhouse manual, if you have that handy. And we're going to talk about that metaphor, and then we're going to frame the rest of our enduring understanding around this idea of a greenhouse and what that does and how we can participate in that. So in the manual on page 5, it asks the question, what is a greenhouse environment? And you'll have some blanks there if you'd like to fill them in, but it says this: a greenhouse provides a healthy, protective, nutritional environment for plants to grow and thrive. So think about a biological greenhouse that helps living plants grow. What is that composed of? Well, we're going to think of a few things, right? It's going to have soil. It's going to have water. It might have some stakes to help a plant grow. It's going to have the actual covering of the greenhouse, some frame and structure to protect it. And in that environment, in that safe and structured environment, you have one final ingredient that's very important. There are seeds. And you put the seed in the ground and you bring water to that, and you have soil and you have protection, and the seed begins to grow. When we talk about greenhouses and greenhouse environments or churches, we're talking about that same idea, but applied to the church. And it looks like this. What is a greenhouse church or environment? A greenhouse environment is any church or environment. That means it could be a group of churches or a network or something else, but any church or environment that willingly trains and sends leaders into the mission field. And for that to happen, a greenhouse must help a seed grow into a sapling and come to the point in time where it's transplanted out of the greenhouse into the field. See, that's a very important thing to note about a greenhouse biologically for plants. It brings plants to a point, and then you take it out of the greenhouse and transplant it. And that's what we are looking to do when we talk about greenhouse churches. So think about this for a moment. You have abilities and gifts in you, as I have them in me, as do all the people that we're going to meet along the way. If they've come to faith and they have spiritual gifts that the Lord has put into them, and they had the seeds of those gifts in them, how are we going to discover, or more importantly, help them discover what those seeds are? I want to propose that they come into a greenhouse environment, and that we need to bring the water of the Word and encouragement to them. They need the soil of a healthy church, not a perfect church, but a healthy church. They need the protection that comes from against forces of evil and the enemy and discouragement and all those things. They need protection so that seed can begin to grow. They need to be staked up while they're still under protection of the greenhouse. And at some point in time, we have to be willing to transplant them to wherever God is calling them to go. And we see that a greenhouse environment does just that. We have two words that we use in regard to greenhouses, and it's two phrases really. And the first one is do something, meaning to encourage a person to take a step of faith and go out and launch something new. And then along with that, to send someone that God is bringing up.